Hello and welcome back. My name is Steffi and I'm turning this Ram Pro Master van into a tiny home. I've done multiple videos on this van build process so far, so check those out if you haven't yet. So far we've put together the subfloor, added windows, sound deadened the walls, added a roof fan, installed solar power, insulated the van, and started framing the walls and furniture. Now we're finally moving on to building the furniture, putting up the walls and ceiling, and adding flooring. So the first step is to get the wood, wall paneling, floors, screws, and paint from the hardware store. I got a couple sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, and we found these rustic looking wall panels for about $20 each. I love how natural they look. It reminds me of like a log cabin or something. I also got 3 boxes of laminate flooring for about $30 a box. The first thing we built was the rest of the bed. Along the sides next to the cabinets we cut plywood to fit and then sanded and stained it this dark color and attached it to the frame. It looked like this. I painted all these pieces in between white, as well as the bed frame and the plywood on top of the frame. All the white areas were painted with a mold preventative primer, which someone suggested in the comments of one of my other videos, and then on top of that is a regular white paint. I also used the primer on the floor under the bed. It just adds a little extra protection if the water tank ever leaks or if water gets in the van. This wall over here is made of the same plywood, and this is the area where the sink is going to go. The next thing we did was build a bench. We used plywood to make the pieces to go around the frame, and I stained it with that same dark stain that I used earlier. And then for the lid, I got a piece of 3-inch foam that we cut to fit on top of a piece of plywood. And then I went to the fabric store and found this cute sunflower patterned fabric. I like sunflowers because they remind me of when I was little gardening with my grandmother. She had sunflowers in her garden and I always loved them. But anyways, we stapled the fabric over the top and then it looked like this. And we put carpet along the bottom of the bench and then we attached the lid to the bottom using these hinges. And now onto the walls and ceiling. We added a little more framing around the window areas, and then we stained and added these long pieces in between where the walls meet the ceiling. We figured out where the LED lights would be going so we could make the cuts and wire them through.
Yeah, they will work.
All 4 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Artie cut the wall paneling to the right size and cut holes for the lights, and then we used a combination of nails and screws to secure the paneling to the framing of the ceiling. And then we cut and screwed up the rest of the walls and the rest of the ceiling. On this area between the bed and the bench, we cut a little hole to mount the light switch and the inverter switch. I went out and found some decorative trim to put in between the wall panels so there wouldn't be any gaps. While I was gone, Artie put this cover around the ceiling fan. I stained the trim and we nailed it between the panels. And then we just added this little shelf in the corner, and for the floor we just cut the laminate flooring pieces to size and slid them together, resulting in this. And then we added some trim around the edges and this metal piece where the door is. And lastly, we made this fold-out table. We cut it to the size I wanted and rounded 2 of the edges. I stained it and then added a coat of polyurethane over it. We attached it to the bed with hinges and built this leg out of wood to hold it up. And that's it.
Look at how nice it is. I'm so excited. So although this video was kind of short, this stuff took a lot longer than it looks like it took. The van build's almost done. There's just a couple more things that we have to do. We have to add the water tank, the sink, the shower, the toilet, and the fridge, and a couple other small things, and then it'll pretty much be ready for me to move in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!